if you are on Facebook and YouTube. I'm trying to get through. Okay, I think that's how far back it can go. Hi, everybody. Hi, Mr. Yefeso. Thank you always, because I don't think you ever miss any live. And I pray that as you continue to support this platform, that we would share news of joy regarding you very soon. So shall it be in Jesus' name. Holiday weekend was great. I hope yours was great as well. Uh Samari Bilola. Okay, I'm sure those are two names or something. But hello from Atlanta. Thank you for joining me from Atlanta. Hello, Mr. Kwayemi. How are you? So shall it be. Hi everyone. Happy Tuesday. Missed you all last Thursday, but had to go see my mama. I'm glad I was able to go see my mama. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Great to know. Hi, TikTok family. Hello, hello. GB411 from New York. Thank you for joining from New York City, NYC. Hey, God's favorite. My day was great. How was yours? Hello, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. How are you? How my babies doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Hey, Facebook and YouTube family. Come on in, everybody. Say hello when you come on. I'm always cold. So if you see, I have a blanket wrapped around my waist all the way to my legs. Like, hello, Miss we know how are you? Hi, everyone. Dayo Aditayo, welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ari Bilola. Well, if you take the Sam, okay, Sam, because it's one word together. So Ari Bilola, right? Listen, my apologies, but my Yoruba speaking skills is not the sharpest. So joining from my couch, you're welcome from your couch. So my bad, because that was one of my pet peeves in names, very very important. But in my defense, when you it's just one word together, I'm trying to figure out what is the breakdown of that. So it's Sam Aribilola, right? I'm sure I got it this time around. Hello, Yankee Boy 777. Thank you for joining from Dallas. Yeah, it's been raining. Yeah, good to see you as well. Hey, TikTok people. Sam Aribilola, right? I got it this time around. Come on in, say hello. Hello, Mr. Tola. How are you? So now, since we're talking of names, is this going to be oh Jesus or Oasis? I'm trying to be politically correct here. Hello from Indiana. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I'm doing well, Lady Sugar One. Thank you for asking. Hello, Miss Zoe. What's going on your end? Y'all come on in. Let's talk about this immigration updates. Hello, Miss Awagwala. How are you? Long time no here, I should say. Welcome. Hi everyone. If you are just joining us for the first time, just like, okay, what is going on? Who is this salt and peppered haired lady? What are they talking about? We are, and by we I mean all of us collectively, are a group of immigrants who come together every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Every other time zone, I don't know, every lower Siri, something along those lines, or Alexa, or whoever the name, whatever the smartphone or AI people's names are, ask them. But we come together and talk all things immigration. We encourage one another, pray for one another, especially during this time. We've got to do just that. And just leave the rest in God's hands, because that's the best. That's all we can really do at the end of the day, trusting and hoping and believing that He's able to do exceedingly abundantly. There's a whole, so we encourage one to motivate one another. People come and share their testimonies, and people also ask for people to pray for them. So we do all of that good stuff, immigration related, and positive space. We zero, like zero, nada, zilch tolerance for negativity. Hello, Mr. Gumbere. So welcome in. We welcome people join us from different states, from outside the country. And when we talk about immigration topics, if we have time, I answer questions. Answers to your questions are general in nature, nothing specific to anyone's case. Something specific or tailored to your case is going to require you scheduling a paid consultation, which you can easily do that on our website, olalayalawfirm.com, or send a message to us on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, we do not take calls. We only do voice, what's it called, text messages. But you can call our office as well, 334-341-4475. And we'll be glad to represent you and walk this immigration journey with you. Amen. Amen. Thank God. It's been to say it's been quite a lot in immigration from this big beautiful bill to it's just let's just get right into it. But be sure to follow us on TikTok, YouTube, subscribe, Instagram, Facebook, like, share. Let me see. I think we have a troll. They've come. Like I said, zero tolerance for negativity. If you come here, I would block you very quickly because there's enough of the negative talk out there. This is not the forum for it. So let's see what this person is up to. But anyway, like, follow, share, subscribe at Olalaya Immigration on all platforms. Good evening, BB56, T4T. Good evening as well. So share this video. You never know who can benefit. Like, for instance, I'll give an example. I think it was sometime last week. Either last week or the week before. I'm not really sure. But one of the posts we put up was, making sure that how to check your with your alien number if you have in place the removal proceedings, because we're seeing quite a bit of that, an increase in that going on. People not even being aware that they've been placed in removal proceedings and have a court date coming up. And we've had crazy calls. Phone lines have been because of that. And reason being, people are finding out that they are being placed in removal proceedings without knowing. It actually happened to one of my clients that has a pending bar case. And even when we filed that case, obviously, because that's one thing I do just by default. If we're about to file something, just run it real quick. Turns out that USCIS in their, I was going to say another something, but in their one of their crazy, what is the word I'm looking for that's going to be professional, because I don't feel like being professional. But anyway, issued my client who's got a pending VA case, a pending green card application, a notice to appear in immigration court last week. So and I had to consult today of people who were just minding their own business. We were like, hey, I watched your video, I went to put in my alien number. Lo and behold, I have a court case coming up in September. I have one coming up in July 2026. So my point is, you just never know the information that's going to be helpful. I'm trying to say in the way that pleases God, exactly. You don't know what video you're going to share from this live that's going to be helpful to someone that is going to, for instance, the one of the ladies who consulted with me has a court case coming up in August 5th or 8th. I'm not sure one of the dates. But she said, I had no business checking that, but for your video. And so imagine in the case where she did not know, because she didn't know, she never received an NTA. August 5th comes around and she misses a court date. She's going to be ordered removed in absentia because she misses a court date. So that's one, that's one of the reasons why we do this, so people can know. But anyway, if you've got questions, the routine is we get to as many questions as possible at the end of what we want to talk about. So let's get right into it. Unless you're living on the rock, there's been quite a bit. So I'm just going to run through the updates that I think we all need to know. First things first, like I said, let me start with that removal issue. If we are seeing an uptick in people being referred to immigration court, even with pending cases with USCIS. The second person that one of the other people, second person that I consulted with today that found out that they have a removal order or a removal proceedings is someone who has a pending I-130 that their spouse filed for them, but the removal and the NTA that they did not get, but turns out that what they found out that what they called, so they had a previous lawyer help them in their previous filing. They had filed an I-130 that was previously denied. And so they came to our firm and we have a current I-130 that is pending. Turns out that USCIS issued the notice to appear, not on the current case that we have with USCIS, but they issued the NTA based on the I-130 that was denied last year. And they just issued that NTA about 2 weeks ago. So they had a whole over a year plus to do whatever, but obviously it's because of the current administration that we're in. So you just don't know. And so in that situation, with them not knowing, that would have become an issue with them not showing up. So there's been an uptick. So even with people that have pending cases, just like my client that I described, just like this person who consulted with me, we are seeing an uptick on cases people being referred to immigration court. And because of that leads. So if you don't know, and especially if you don't have anything pending with USCIS, but you've got a previous case that you filed, it's been denied or whatever, even if you have a case that is pending, but you have a previous application that was denied or withdrawn, then you want to make sure that from time to time you put in your alien number in USCI's the EOIR website. I'm going to see if I can show you, because a lot of people don't even know they can check that. So 2 ways which you can do that. If you go on, let me show. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, then you will be able to see my screen. But if not, you can always watch it later. So let's see. Let me see if I can share my screen with you. Present, share screen. All right, I've got a whole lot. Okay, so this one, I'm going to share this with you. So if you are on Facebook and on YouTube, you can see my screen. And so if someone can confirm for me that you can see my screen, somebody on YouTube, or hey, Miss Collins, how are you? Can somebody let me know that you can see my screen on YouTube or Facebook? Yes, no? Come on, people. Just anybody, somebody. I can see 40 of y'all. Okay, thank you. Okay, so thank you very much. Appreciate that. So this is where you go to find out, and you can always watch this video later on if you're on TikTok or Instagram. But this is where you go to find out about whether or not you have an upcoming immigration court date, or if you've been placed in removal proceedings. So it is the EOIR website. If you go on Google and just put in EOIR case status, it would just direct you to this website. So normally I like to refresh. So you would see that, on that page, they have updated, the date is going to be updated. If it's not updated, just refresh your browser. And it's very simple, automatic case information. Right here where I'm circling is where you're going to put in, your alien number. Some people don't even know what the truth of the matter is. And we're like, where do I find my alien number? Easiest way to know where your alien number is I have one of your receipt notices. You're not going to find your alien number on the case tracker app. No, one of your receipt notices. If you have a USCIS account, you should have your alien number there. If you've got any of your receipt notices, will have your alien number. It would literally say alien number. Or on your employment authorization documents, EAD card, if you look on your EAD card, there's a number that says USCIS number. That is your alien number. So if your number is it's 8 digits and it has an A in front of it, just start with a 0. before you put in the, so for instance, if it's 68, something, it's 8, you just put a 068. But most people would have a two something, one something. So most people have a 9-digit number. Put your number here, and then once you have, so I'm just going to put 000000000. Obviously, but if you put that number there, it will come up and let you know. For instance, 000, that's a test, right? It would tell you, whether you have any future hearings, or if there's a hearing schedule, it will let you know. It will tell you where your case is pending, what court, and the address. If it's an appeal case that is pending, it will tell you, how long, when the appeal was filed. If the appeal was denied, it will tell you when the appeal was denied. So that's how you find out if you've got, if you're in place in removal proceedings, if you've got a case coming up, that's how you're going to be able to find out. So it's very important that you're, especially now, just plug in your number, just try to make sure that nothing is coming up under your number. Okay, so because of this whole rush or this craziness of trying to, they make them, they're actually proud of themselves. I think it was last one they said, so far they've issued 26,000 notices to appear, and you're getting an award in heaven for that. Kudos to you. But because of this craziness of this crackdown and all that, we're going to issue as many notices to appear in immigration court. The backlash to that is it's causing a lot of backlogs with USCIS applications. It's becoming what I like to call an epidemic at this point, because as of today, as of July 8, 2025, USCIS has over 11 million pending applications, and they are extremely understaffed. Over 11 million pending applications. It's at an all-time high, but and part of that is because they're focused rather on adjudication and processing cases. USCIS, which is not a law enforcement agency, has decided to be part of that and focusing more on who's going to be arrested at the USCIS or detained or turned over to ICE. They're focusing more on trying to investigate fraud in cases. So, for instance, one of the things we're seeing a lot of in marriage cases is if you present, an example would be you present a lease agreement, right? So you have a landlord's name, address and all that. If it's a case where they suspect that you may not be living together, or they want to do an additional, they're taking additional step to investigate, we're seeing them going to contact. We've done it before, but it's increasing even much more now. We're seeing them going to contact landlords, landladies to ask whether or not you're living with your spouse. We're seeing them going to contact neighbors. If you're in an apartment complex, they're going to contact property managers and showing photographs, which you've done before, but it's more prevalent now. And so it's not just sufficient to just present a lease agreement. You've got to know whether or not, they want to know if you're actually living. So if you just put your spouse's name and the person has never been seen in your apartment complex, that's going to be a red flag for you. So that's something. So they're spending a whole lot more time on investigation rather than processing. Processing times are going crazy. The VAWA cases, rather than spending time to adjudicate those, they're just sending out boilerplate to RFEs just to buy themselves time, because they know if they send you an RFE, you're not going to rush to send a response. You want to take your time. Buying themselves time is just ridiculous. So that's that. So be aware of what's going on with issuance of NTAs for removal proceedings, backlogs at USCIS because of minding other people's business rather than drinking water and minding their own business. And then this whole big, beautiful bill sounds like something a kindergarten student will name, but we're talking, it's a U.S. Congress that the government, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, as we all know, that so-called big, beautiful bill passed last week, signed into law. Just a side note. Y'all know that, midterm elections are coming up next year. So for those of you who are citizens who have perpetually refused to vote, unless you're living under a rock, but I can guarantee you've got one family member or the other that is affected by something that's going on. It would be great if everybody goes out next year and actually votes, because if the um, the majority of the Congress is changed, then we can effect a change. So just an FYI. I'm telling you, forgetting their rather than drinking water, minding their business, they're minding everybody else's business. So this big beautiful bill, it has quite a bit of immigration provisions in it, but I'm still reading it, but I've read the part of, because it's just, that's why my hair is gray, and that's why can't with you. Thank God the hair is still there, knock on wood. It's just turning gray, but that's why it's turning gray. So it really is more geared towards enforcement and pumping money, billions of dollars, into making safeguarding so they have $46.5 billion that's going to be spent for border security. I'm not really sure who these criminals are that are trying to protect their country against. There's going to be quite a bit of increase in filing. So people filing asylum, we're going to be paying filing. Asylum has always been a no-fee application because it's a humanitarian application, but there's going to be filing fee now. Those who are applying for TPS is going to go from $50 to $500. If you are filing an appeal on an immigration judge's order or decision to the BIA, it's going to increase from $110 to $900. Those who are filing asylum related EADs now, whether USCIS has not come out with any, as of the time I came on this live, USCIS has not come out with any update as far as fee changes and all that. They haven't updated anything, but with the new EAD, it's applicable right now to those who are going to be filing asylum applications. So the provision in the bill is asylum-related work authorization is going to be valid for 6 months, and for every renewal, it's going to be $550. It's just insane, because right now we submitted, I think, between Saturday and today. I'm just telling my paralegals, let's do it online. Let's just do it online. So for initial ones that we've done so far, we haven't paid any fees. So we're just waiting to see how that's going to translate. If it's just going to be when the person is in court. There's still a whole lot that is ongoing. There was no effective date or anything. Sign into law, and then that's law. That's what we're seeing. And welcome to a very strange administration. All right, so that's that. And let's see. So we've got the backlogs, EAD. Oh, by the way, if you are a Nigerian, come closer. If you've got family members who usually come to the United States to visit and all that, come even much closer. Today, the Department of State decided that they're going to revise their visa policies. So, generally, you can have a non-immigrant visa valid for about 5 years, multiple entries, and all that good stuff. As of today, they have decided to change that. And so non-immigrant visas for Nigerians and non-immigrant visas, non-diplomatic visas would only be valid for 3 months. It will only be valid for 3 months, and they will all be single entries. And that's supposed to be effective today. So no more multiple entry non-immigrant visas, no more multiple entries, and no more 5-year period. It's going to be a 90-day period, 3-month period, and it's going to be for single entry. So that means, imagine someone who does business, because there's B2 visa for business, someone who does, and he's able to come in easily with multiple entry visa. So imagine now that person is going to have to apply for a visa every single time they want to come to the United States, and it's not like you can get an interview date just like that. Interview dates are backlog, so it's just a mess. Well, that's yet to be seen. If anything, I think fees are actually increasing. There's also, in this big beautiful bill, there's also additional visa integrity fee that's going to be added to visa fees. But keep in mind, this was just signed into law on. I don't see, that wasn't part of it But keep in mind, this whole thing was just signed into law on Friday, in Independence Day. So we get to see what's going to be happening. So let's see. All right. So I think that those are all the updates I have for y'all tonight. Things keep changing, as we already know, but yeah, I think it's the same thing Nigeria does. Sadly, it's R for R. Well, I mean, it's not. You can get to Nigeria and get a visa upon arrival in Nigeria. So if it was that easy, then that's great. If it's that easy, if it's something where you can get to the United States and apply for it, but we already know that that's not how it works with this country. But I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger delivering the message. But anyway, that's all true tonight, people. So this video will be up on all our platforms, so you can send it out to people just so they know what's going on, and we'll keep you updated. We'll keep you posted as much as we can. There's just a whole lot going on that we're just trying to keep up, and we try. I don't even know the last time I had like an 8-hour sleep. I can't remember. That's almost for 8 hours straight. I know. That would be very strange in the story of my life. But anyway, all right, let's get as many questions as possible. I'm going to start on YouTube and okay. So yeah, so Mr. Obina, I think that should cover that. Like I said, USCIS has not released anything. Let me even check real quick. USCIS has not said anything regarding the application that's going to be filed that is non-asylum related. But that can change. We are just 2 days post the signing of this thing. Let's see. Okay. So that's still what's showing on their website. So we're just going to wait to see what happens, just 1 day at a time. Yeah, so we're anticipating changes to come anyway. So we'll keep you updated. Okay, let's see. All right, thank you, everyone. How can it tend? So disclaimer, nothing specific to anyone's case as far as responses to your questions, just general information. How can a 10-year green card? How can a 10 years green card send? Okay, I guess what you're asking is, can a 10-year green card holder, 10-year, 2-year, doesn't matter, send an invitation to a family relative abroad to come visit? If that's the question, generally yes. So I'm not sure what you mean. How can you just write a letter of invitation for them to come visit? You're going to be, accommodating them, stay in your house, whatever. This is the goal of their visit. Doesn't mean they're going to grant it. It's just discretion. It's just part of the evidence they can take to apply for the non-immigrant visa. Is our pending U visa and T visa safe from NTA? I wouldn't really say that. Nothing really can be safe from NTA, because the thing is, keep in mind, just last week or the week before, I think it was the week before, that normally, and I think, a lot of people were going back and forth on that post on our page, because it says, quote unquote, simple DUI. Let me be very clear, because some people had it feel like, if you've never had a family member, be the victim of a drunk driver and all that. That wasn't because I do criminal defense, right? And so there are some states where it is actually the legal term for that offense in some states. So there's nothing simple about a DUI. It's not about trivializing the impact of what a drunk driver, the consequences of being a victim of a drunk driver. But it is the legal term of that offense. And because it is the legal term of that offense, that's what it is now. That's what it is. The what's it called? The bill focuses on, because it's simple, quote unquote, meaning one-time offense. Nobody was injured. Someone who was, because there's so many people who are charged DUIs that there are no victims is just they were stopped and they charged with DUI and all that. So those are things that are referred as to simple DUI. Like I said, it's a simple DUI, not because it is simple in the sense that it trivializes the offense, but because that's the legal term that it used. So the point is something that would ordinarily not have made someone deportable and or inadmissible. They have now passed the bill that will make it deportable and or inadmissible. So that's the point of that. So and a lot of people, I still had someone who was charged with quote unquote is simply DUI, and he's worried sick out of his mind, as he should be, because now it is a deportable offense. So that means someone who has a green card can be placed in deportation proceedings if you are convicted of a simple DUI. I hope that clarifies that. Hey, Miss Mary, how are you? Okay, so listen, I can't really say so. Oh, and let me, before I forget, if you are a VAW petitioner and your green card application is still pending, or you don't have a green card application, make sure and your initial deferred action grant has expired. Be sure to go request an extension of that initial deferred action grant from USCIS, because that is your protection from being placed in remote proceedings. Alternatively, you can file a C-14 EAD application, which will serve as a deferred action protection as well. So just the tip for those who are VAW petitioners. Okay, good to know. Happy Tuesday to you as well. All right, let me go to TikTok real quick. Where's TJ? TJ is on. Is it on an Ian? Is at? Okay, that's the right. I was like, okay, we'll go make it. It's at a basketball camp. That's why my house is quiet. My baby's at a basketball camp. Okay. Let's see. 9:05. I am doing well, Ms. Zoe. How about yourself? Anything about processing time, anything about travel, those are not questions I'm going to answer. So if I skip those questions, it's not because I didn't see them, but there's no advice I'm going to give anyone about travel. If you have an attorney, talk to your attorney. Love your glasses. Thank you. It's as cut-eyeish as you can get. Love your hair. Thank you. Can I apply for EB-1A when I'm out of status? You can apply for EB-1A whether you're in status or out of status. The question really is, will you be able to get, because that's a petition, that's a standalone petition. That has nothing to do whether you're eligible for a green card or not. But upon approval of the EB-1A petition or EB-2 or whatever the case may be, can you get a green card based on that? And the short answer to that is, if you're out of status, you've been out of status for more than 180 days, then you're not eligible to apply for a green card based on an approved employment petition. You would have to consular process. And if you have triggered either the 3-year bar or 10-year bar, you're going to need a 601A waiver approved before you leave the country. I responded to RFE 120 days ago. Still, I didn't get a response from USCIS. I-360 CJs. Just hold on to make a decision on your case. Keep in mind, like I said, a whole lot of, hello, Chloe, thank you for sharing, cases, pending cases, and either a criminal business, it's in non-balo, but here we are. So please do not repeat questions. If I know King of Drama, I think that's a very good username, because I need someone who's the King of Drama is going to really repeat questions like that. Don't repeat your questions. If you repeat your questions, I'm going to skip your question. Thank you, Cat Mom. Let's see. Does K3 help I-130? In my experience, it's a waste of time and money. because I see, and I actually tell my client up front, if you're okay with paying me to just do another petition that's going to be approved about the same time, um, that your I-130 will be approved, or that USCIS is going to deny because you just approved your I-130, but they're not going to refund your money, and I won't refund your money because I've done my work, then that's fine. Because that's what we're seeing. We're seeing them approve the K3 about the same time as the I-130. General questions only and not this specific. Okay. It's been 5 months now. Still no decision on my EAD C9. That's still within normal processing time. I passed my naturalization interview today. Says what's taking is Thursday. Congratulations. Congratulations. And see, with all the news going on, I know there's a whole lot going on in the news and all that, but the truth of the matter is USCIS is still approving cases. People are still being sworn in as citizens. People are still getting green cards approved. I-130 is approved, work authorization, H-1B, employment-based, things are still being approved. They just are minding other people's business too much, but cases are still being approved. So it's not like, everything is not just, yeah. Can I travel? Okay, I'm going to skip that. They just don't want people coming at all. And the thing is, this country cannot survive without immigrants. It's amazing that the people who have helped to build the country, now you want to hey, go on. We shall see. We shall see. Okay. Okay, good. Congratulations. Is it OG or OG? We rejoice with you. We thank God for this elevation in your life, and we use it. I know, Miss Mikey, I know it's you. We use it as a point of contact to other people that are still waiting on God's favor. Yeah, 3 months valid with a single entry. As my mom would say, 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 the truth of the matter is, I really don't know what that means, but I think, because I usually hear her say it when it's like, okay, we shall see kind of thing. So that's what I believe. If I'm not correct about what it means or what it alludes to, y'all, you're right, experts, let me know. But I think that's what it is. Oh, good question. So for those who already have 5-year non-immigrant visa, so for instance, you've got Nigerians who have 5-year a multiple entry, nothing affects your current visa. So as long as you got it, so for instance, if you got a 5-year multiple entry visa yesterday, that's fine. That stays and it's valid for the multiple entry and for 5 years. It just is applicable for those effective today. Those moving forward, that's what they're going to be granting them. So nothing is going to affect that. Hey, Mr. Allen, how are you? The duration of stay in the U.S. has changed from or has it changed? There's nothing set in stone as far as duration of stay in the U.S. There's nothing that says you have to be given 180 days. So generally, I-94s are valid for 6 months, but CBP has the discretion to give you 2 weeks, which I've seen. They have the discretion to give you 3 weeks, 2 months, 3 months. It just depends. 120 days. So the maximum is the 180 days, but you can go from 1 day to 180 days. So there's nothing that says they have to allow you to. You're authorized to stay in the country because it's completely discretionary. Can you enlighten us on the initial deferred grant you just mentioned? Do all VAWA applicants have this grant in place? Let me put it this way. I haven't had any VAWA approved that did not come with an initial grant of deferred action. So now, can that change with this administration? Absolutely. But I just haven't had any, you're welcome, approved that hasn't come with an initial deferred action grant. So that's usually expected. Okay, let's see. Abiola, Koreans from Chicago. Thank you for joining. That's one of my favorite cities on earth. I lived in Chi-Town for 3 years, 3.5 years. But I'll tell you this, as much as I love that city, to Chicago, yeah. Ah, to Chicago. Mm-mm. I don't know how y'all do it in the winter time. And then when you have blizzards, I can never forget when my oldest kid, who is 20 and a half now, when he was born, I think he was about probably no, 6 months. No, 6 months, kid. No, it was probably 2 months because it was born in December. And so I think this was February 2005. We had this stormy blizzard. It was crazy. That was the year I knew that there's not how I can live in this city. I don't just we had to move somewhere. And now did I think this out? No, but these are not the go as out. Okay, let's see. Good to see you as well, Mr. Winner. Hopefully, we hear something soon. My kid was asking me, and the TJ was like, "How do you remember everyone's case? Like, it's see, if someone's name, I can tell you what their case is about." I'm like, I don't know, because I don't forget anything. It's a blessing, and sometimes it could be a challenge as well. I would say. Okay, I went for interview alone. My wife is in the military in boot camp. They canceled my interview for green card, and that's usually a reasonable explanation or a reasonable ground for them to reschedule until the person is done, especially for servicemen and women. So it shouldn't be a problem at all. They will just reschedule you. But the good thing is that you went. So if you didn't show up, then that would have been the problem. My prima facie determination is extended 2 times. Should I be worried? Worried about what? What's the worry? Applied for VA 2022. Yesterday I got an RFE. Okay, so what's your question? Myself and my wife decided to stay in different apartments due to issues in our marriage, and we are filing I-45 together based on approved I-140. Should I be worried as the principal applicant? Worried about what? What is the worry exactly? Hey, Mama. Mama done. Y'all say hello to my mother. Is that 8:63? Let's see. Forgetting they have bigger fish to fry. Tell them. Do someone? Okay, that's. See, I have one of my pet peeves is English. Grammar is a big deal for me. So when something doesn't sound really well, I know not everybody's first language is English, but that's I always pause first. So let me try to read it and then rephrase that. Okay, so you're asking if someone that is born in the United States and also has a Nigerian passport travel to Nigeria or need to get visa on an American passport. If you have a Nigerian passport, why are you getting visa on an American passport? I mean, that speaks for itself. I think we've gone through this phase. There's so many videos that just was confusing people at some point, but we've gone through this phase already. I have a friend who has a DWI and has intervened in August. Is there any risk of him being detained? Let him talk to his lawyer. If he doesn't have a lawyer, he needs to get one on his case. Just like I said, the bill is in place. It's not something that is going to. It's already it's signed. It's the law. So there's going to be consequences. There will be consequences for those who are, and that's why I took time to explain. It's not about trivializing what a DUI is, but it's just how it is categorized. It's never been a deportable offense when it has to be a simple DUI. Now it is going to be for even those who have green cards, who have their green cards, let alone someone who does not. Plus longer interview wait time. My friend got March 2027. You mean not interview? You mean court hearing dates? Yeah, I have someone who's scheduled for 2030. But then again, we're not worried. We're actually happy because we've got a pending VAWA case, and fingers crossed, probably this person will be out by then. So no problem. I don't know. She said she wants to try to get a refund. What are we talking about? Refund for what? Would that mean something? I don't know. Maybe that means something. Okay, let's see. 919. Cookies Baby 143. How are you? All right, I'll answer that question. Average timeline of VAT approval. Go to uscis.gov/processing time. I have gotten extension 3 times. Now they gave me I-551 at its stamp. Should I be worried? Worried about what? So when you ask questions about should you be worried, what is the worry? And you've got to be specific about what is the worry about? About that your case is still pending, about you getting a stamp. What exactly is the worry? My daughter outside the U.S. is now 20 years old. Can I still file for her? It would depend on if she's single and you are. So if you're single, you can file for any child of any age, even if you're a green card holder or a citizen. If your daughter is married, even 20-year-old, if she's married and you are a green card holder, you cannot file for a married child. So that's just very, very general. You got to be very specific about your status. What is your status? Let's start from there. I got a protected green card through ex-husband. I'm assuming you mean VAWA. If that's what you mean, and he's a citizen, then 3 years since you got the green card. All right. Okay, people. I think that's about. Okay, so you're a citizen. A citizen can file for a child of any age, married, unmarried, single, with kids, without kids. It doesn't matter. So, yeah. And if you're a citizen, the child that is 20 years old, as long as she is single, which she says she is, unmarried, then that child is still going to be classified as an immediate relative, as long as you file the I-130 petition before she turns 21. If you file the I-130 petition before she turns 21, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take USCIS and the embassy to approve it. It locks in her age, and she's going to be treated as an immediate relative up until she gets an immigrant visa. That's very important because the immediate relatives are those in the group that have the fastest processing time when it comes to filing the I-130 and getting immigrant visas, because they're not waiting on priority dates to become current. Okay. You are welcome. All right, people. Okay, perfect. Yeah, as long as it gets in before she turns 21, you're good. I believe we've gone through. What am I doing here? Sorry. Okay. All right. Okie dokie, alligators. All right, so you are welcome. Listen, it doesn't matter how many bills they sign, how many laws they pass. God is still God. God remains in control. So they can pass the law, they can pass any bill, they can make any policies. The Bible says once I've been young, now I'm old. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his descendants begging for bread. There is no way we're going to be forsaken. There's nothing that is happening that God does not know about. There's nothing that's happening that God is not going to be, that God doesn't already foresee and know how it's going to end. The one thing I know for sure is there is nothing that's going to happen that is going to make us children of God to be miserable or to be displaced or to be disgraced or to be embarrassed or humiliated or to be sent, packing to our home countries in shame. It's not going to happen because we know we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. We are God's own. And if He has brought us to this foreign, quote unquote, foreign land, because, Italo and foreign, except you're Native American, but He's brought us here for a purpose. That purpose, that has got to be fulfilled. So there's no way the enemy is going to have the last laugh. We're going to be immune to embarrassment, to disappointment, because we are God's children. He has gone before us, and he has spoken on our behalf. Favor, mercy, and grace will be our constant companions and advocates on our behalf. So let them pass any laws, let them bring any policies. Just stand firm. Bible says 1,000 will fall at your side, 10,000 by your right side, but they shall not come near you. Only with our eyes shall we behold the reward of the wicked. Stand firm. It's faith. He said, okay, how do I know that? Do I just believe in the promises of God? I'm not seeing anything happen. That's the whole point of faith. You're not going to see it. It's for us to trust and believe that promise that He has made concerning each and every one of us, it shall come to pass. And so that's what has to happen. So you stand firm in your faith, knowing that which He has destined for you, for me, nobody can alter God's grace on your life. So we keep believing. Let Him send all the RFEs, the one that said, the noise, the one that said, that's okay. God has it under control because He has settled it already. It's just for us to see the manifestation on this side of heaven. I'll see you guys next time.